If you can believe it, it is Friday once again. And I'm talking David Lynch movies. Hi, my name is Zach and I like movies. And going through more of David Lynch's works in honor of him. And we are now up to his 1984 adaptation of Frank Herbert's Dune. This was a real serious turning point in David Lynch's career. This was like the biggest project he had ever taken on thus far. This was only his third movie, which is kind of crazy to say. And they had got massive acclaim and success with the Elephant Man, but he was offered other projects he was actually offered to direct Return of the Jedi, which would have been crazy. But he chose Dune, the big, massive, maybe the most influential work of science fiction this side of anything. It's hard to compare what's more influential in terms of the genre of science fiction than maybe some Robert Heinlein novels or something. But and Frank Herbert's Dune, as we've seen with Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of the last few years, is a sprawling sci-fi fantasy epic, and it was for decades considered unadaptable. And they tried first time, and David was hired to helm this, and it did not go well. It was a very rough production. David Lynch for years and years said that he was famously unsatisfied with this, practically disowned it for so long. He recognizes that later. He said that he was disappointed with it because he didn't have final cut over it. It felt like, most that the studio gave him was 2 hours 17 minutes. And that was as long as it was. But to do all of Dune in even just that amount of time is really hard. Honestly, it did make sense that they were able to split just the first book into two movies. But even then, what Denis stuff did and sort of the changes they made in adapting it is now we're just kind of trying to do things around. But anyway, it's kind of weird that this movie sort of not just exists, but exists in the way it does, and sort of the parts and pieces of it that are why they are. And it's the style of this movie. It's very David Lynch in sort of the sort of like a surrealist imagery and the overlaid shots, and there's some cheesiness that feels very intentional in the performances and some of the editing choices, or even the end credits. They're doing a cast reel of it feels very reminiscent of some movies from the 30s, but be a Clark Gable as blah 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 and something like that, and they do a pose or something like that. This movie is kind of a mess. It's and I my parents both saw this in theaters, and they were big fans of Dune. They both read it, and they went and saw this movie. When they went and saw this movie in 1984, they were given glossary note cards of all the houses, all the intergalactic houses, all the glossary of this is what the Fremen are. This is what the Weirding Way is. This is what Arrakis is, and all that. And it's and just not just because of that, but also even in it introduces, it has this it begins with the floating head of who was it? Virginia Madsen as Princess Arula, giving exposition about in the year 10,000 whatever, and the spice, who controls the most spice controls the world. We fold space now, and it's it's a lot of, it feels like just cramming for an exam. It's very rushed, especially in the back end of this. There is so much yada yada in going on between just the stuff with the Fremen Wars, and starting all this stuff, a lot of the like back end stuff with like the Harkonnen house and the Emperor. There's like that weird thing, that like weird traveler thing that's like the size of a building or something, and like yeah, it's just, there's like and like the not enough time is given to this movie for like to like really give any of these characters like any like semblance of weight, or to like really like let them like kind of breathe and just kind of exist, or like hell even just get like the story at like the kind of pace that you need to like, you know, really feel and care about it. But like none of this really feels like for the lack of trying. And like I do consider this movie a failure, but I think it's the kind of interesting failure that only comes around every so often. And it's a movie, and it's the failure that you feel the effort in. Like for the one, to begin with, the production design of this movie is incredible. Like, wow, it has this like really grand, opulent sort of Art Deco style in like the Emperor Shaddam's castle. All this, like all the like weird, like sort of like like an industrial look to like House Atreides and stuff, and like feels very aristocratic. And like that, all that was money well spent, and a lot of, and again, like the colors too. Like I love that like lime green room that where we first introduced the Harkonnens in, and like also like the sets, their costumes are great. The makeup too, like especially on the Baron Harkonnen. He's so like just like covered in these like oozing like boils and pustules. It's like it's very, he looks and feels very gross, and the performances are like, they really go for it. It's like that, like man, some of these performances, like oftentimes they like just sometimes they feel like they're like really trying to sell you on it, like what Kyle MacLachlan does, which he plays Paul Atreides here, and this was actually his first collaboration with David Lynch, and they would like go on to like, you know, work all the time. They were best friends, and really until David's death, and you know, Kyle, he's like, I really do buy what Kyle is trying to do. It's like he really has like some youth. He's got verve. He's got presence. But I also feel like the kind of role that is being asked of him, it's like, it's not that he can't do that, but it's like Kyle MacLachlan isn't like a, you know, he's not like one of those like, you know, movie stars, you know, like, you know, like I feel like Timothée Chalamet sort of embodies that role just a little bit more of like what is being asked in this sort of like big budget studio rock opera kind of thing. And then you have like you have actors like Patrick Stewart as Gurney, and José Ferrer as the Emperor, where they have like, they bring out that like sort of like a sense of like professional gravitas, you know, like professionalism and gravitas, and like I am an actor. But then like you also have like other David Lynch collaborators like Brad Dourif as Peter, or Jack Nance, and then there's or even Edward McGill. There's, you know, and they're also they're in for a penny, out for a pound. And I have to say, like especially who was it playing? It was, sorry, I'm looking at my notes. It was, where the hell is he? Is he damn it. Yeah. The one playing the Baron, he's, holy shit, he's so much fun. He's like very big, he's very loud, and like he's the kind of villain that like really revels in like who he, and like what a bastard he is, and also I think Sting as Fade Rotha, especially when he steps out in that like sort of metal codpiece speedo. It's just like absolutely owning, just like reveling in how hot and cool and sexy he is. Just that's like, some actors really do get it, and I feel like other actors, they're really trying to make it work, and oftentimes, and some of the other actors I think of Francesca Annis as Lady Jessica, and or again even Virginia Madsen as Princess of Rulon, or probably most tragically the act the actor who plays damn it the actor who plays Sean Yun. She plays Chani. She gets really short shifted because like there's a lot like there's a lot of telling that like, oh yeah, we love each other, but like there's not like, I saw you have a conversation and you told me that you were in love, but like I don't buy like it's, you had no time, you had like no time, and we gotta like speed to the end, and yeah, it feels kind of tragic in that sense, because like it's like it doesn't feel like, as much as it is a disaster and sort of rushed and sort of choppily structured it is, I do feel like it wasn't made out of like, it doesn't feel very cynical, you know. It like any like a failed adaptation, even if it does fail either as like, you know, just standard Hollywood blockbuster entertainment, or if it fails as just fails as an adaptation in terms of like, you know, giving the story the kind of heft and the kind of love and time that it needs. It's kind of a train wreck. But I don't think it was ever like anything, you know, anything that like half-assed or anything. Like nothing in this movie feels half-assed. It's a valiant effort. And sometimes I feel, and I have read from people that who like, you know, have read the book, and you know, sort of like aren't too good about Denis' adaptation. They feel like they kind of like David's a little more because he really captured the feelings of the book. You know, the sort of like the grandness, the sort of borderline campness to it, the sort of pulpiness that there is in Dune, but you know, even if the story was a bit of a, you know, just all over the place lately, again, like I do kind of see what they mean. You know, this Dune is a very big, it's a very sort of broad, you know, maybe not broad, but it's very like stylish. It's very big, it's very stylish, kind of like sci-fi rock opera kind of thing. Whereas Denis is very sort of it's Dune by sort of almost the opposite direction. It's very subdued, very monochromatic. There's a lot, like, you sort of trade out the Art Deco grandeur of this into something more like with a lot of brutalist architecture in his movies. And also I gotta say, I really like a lot of this like, you know, classic matte painting backgrounds. There's something that feels like very, it feels like very like, again, you feel the effort in something like that more than you do in like, more than you can in something like what was it called, the digital background that like Lucasfilms is doing for their TV shows. Yeah, there's something. Yeah, I think there is a lot to like still really like. Also, my God, the score by Toto absolutely kicks ass. Like, I feel like, if anything, I feel like sometimes the score can kind of hard carry some of these scenes, especially when it's like it's doing like it's sort of like just breezing past all this like Fremen uprising, where they like know how to attack by using only a word in the weirding ways, and like the score makes things feel absolutely massive and huge and crazy, and it's very fun in that kind of way, and it's also unpredictable too. When it's like, even when it's confusing, when I'm looking at, wait, is this like this like weird baby? This is like Paul's sister, right? That's like, why is she here? What does she do? Oh, I'm not entirely sure. But then it's so weird and fun. I guess it could be weird and fun that like so bad. And again, your mileage might vary on how much is a so bad it's good, or just so wild that it's just fun either way, kind of thing. And I don't know if I like come back to this one a lot, because like it's kind of like it's kind of like either the director's cut or the theatrical cut. It's kind of long. There's like a yacht. There's so much just like yada 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 in. It makes the It makes the drama feel inconsequential. It makes characters feel just inert and also just kind of there. Um, so there's not much flow to it. A lot of the scenes just sort of abruptly stop and just like moved on. Like one of these scenes that like it ends sort of, but like abruptly, and then it like cuts, but it doesn't just cut. Like the screen just sort of like tears to the next scene with Paul and Shawnee. It was pretty funny. The movie is kind of unpredictable in ways like that, and I don't think David Lynch is the kind of visionary that an adaptation like Dune calls for. But kudos to him to like still giving it his best effort. And I don't blame him for like trying to disavow it and feeling disappointed by this and disavowing it for so long. But honestly, I think he should have been proud that it found fans. And I think there is still fun to be had with here. Like again, the production is just it's really fun to look at. It is weird and it's kind of wild, and even if it doesn't make a lot of sense, I guess it does work best in sort of a camp in a lot of the camp factor, especially from like the performances. Seriously, you really just need to watch some stuff with like the Baron in this, which I need to find the damn guy's name. I'm blanking on him, but yeah, I think that's mostly it. There's and I gotta say, I am glad that this in a way sort of did lead to Blue Velvet existing, with because they work on. I think they work on it. And again, like some of the weird, a lot of weird choices here. Like they have a Freddie Jones as a Thurfer, and he has these like huge crazy eyebrows, and I can't. Kenneth McMillan. Kenneth McMillan plays the Baron Harkonnen. He's so good. He's probably one of the highlights next to Kyle and Sting. By the way, and also there Paul and Fade's knife fight. I kind of dig this. It's really fun. It's really this movie is fun. It's weird, and I am kind of disappointed with it. I am kind of disappointed with it in the sense of like, man, this is a total mess. But I'm not bored. I'm never bored watching it. It's just a weird movie, and it's maybe not his most successful movie, but there's still stuff to like about it. And I guess that'll be it. I guess that's mostly it. Can't wait to come back next week to talk about Blue Velvet, because man, a lot to talk about in that. And I think, but for now, what do you think about David Lynch? Do you like it? Do you like it more than Denis Dune? I'm curious how many people have that opinion. But for now, that'll be it. I'm Zach. I like movies. I have a lot more movies to watch, and I hope you watch movies too, because movies are life. And I will see you all next time, and you all take care of yourselves.